Also reinforces Sakuna's automatically generates the slash using its reverse curse technique within Sakuna's domain. She also points out that Gojo has the option to run away, with Akari reinforcing the statement by stating that it should be easy for Gojo to escape. But Kusakabe corrects him, letting them know that Gojo moved by teleport, and since his domain is destroyed, he will be able to use this technique in order to do so. With Kusakabe confirming to Miwa that in this moment, Gojo is in some serious trouble. I'm glad.
There also appears to be a slight fracture in his right arm just below the elbow.
Gojo
However,
withstands the curse technique, but Sukuna makes sure to apply more pressure, asking, "Did you think I'd let you go?" The two trade more blows and come to a brief standstill, both making astute observations about the other. Sukuna says he moves well for someone using reverse curse technique at full throttle to keep my curse technique at bay. Whereas Gojo says, apparently my level in Shrine Center isn't Sukuna, but it's the shrine itself. We cut to Yuji asking, what if Gojo were to destroy the domain? Kusakabe says, normally the objects or constructions within a domain do not have any new meaning or function. In other words, they may not exist. With Mei reinforcing that the shrine is a symbol of the domain, then it cannot be broken. There's no point in really trying either. If Gojo with his 6 eyes hasn't attempted to do so yet, then it's likely futile. Kiara asks, so there's no point in trying? We cut back to Gojo activating.
I had no idea another guinea pig was still alive.
Takabe says, no.
What are you doing? Have you lost your mind?
He can't teach it. Since Gojo is a genius and understands those techniques without actually having to learn them, it makes him unsuited to teach the technique and guide someone through the learning process. He also goes on to explain the purpose of simple domain within this fight, saying that it will allow for Gojo to negate the guaranteed hit while he's healing himself with first burst technique, questioning how Gojo is able to utilize these two techniques at once. Choso chimes in and says that real domain, curse energy output for a simple domain, is by time. Since simple domain is such a low level technique, it's also weak in terms of output. As Gojo opens another simple domain, Sukuna stating that this is no more than tedious and to begin to clash once more. As Sukuna lands another direct flurry slash, Gojo passes another simple domain, but this time it doesn't activate the first curse technique. Yuta points out that Gojo would have run out of curse magic, whereas the Raven Father Masculine says that Sukuna may have pressured Gojo enough to the point where it was possible. We cut back to the two gods fighting and see another slash in Gojo's neck. This then asks, is Gojo Satoru going to lose? Gojo grabs onto Sukuna with Sukuna stating that Gojo's speed has increased. Gojo then keeps his legs wrapped around Sukuna and leans back. After he does this, he activates the red, sending Sukuna flying right into his throne. As Sukuna's head moves, Gojo wipes himself off, calling Sukuna no more than a pain in the ass. Gojo manages to pull off that clutch comeback against Sukuna. We cut back to Kusakabe. Kusakabe asks Yuta if he's really used first curse technique in order to heal the first house technique. He yells at his coach with the answer. The Yuta says that's impossible, but I can't say that. After all, Gojo says they already did. With Yuta further saying that injuries to the body are totally different from the feeling of technique burnout after a meeting. It's similar to how a machine will behave erratically after it overheats. Even if it's not malfunctioning, all you can do is simply wait for it to cool down. Maki then clarified, so even if you're running a you can't even down and take it further. Yuta says that's what I thought, but maybe I just wasn't thinking hard. Where's that really? What if Gojo Sensei's pushing me way too far? And we already know that the 5-minute merchant is praying that he doesn't have to go next. As we come back to Gojo's Sukuna, Gojo then asks Sukuna, you make the effective range even bigger, right? Which prompts Sukuna to actually prepare to increase the effective range of a level in Shrine to its maximum. Kusakabe asking Gojo to split the remaining minties. Then Gojo goes ahead and activates his unlimited void. Gojo once again expands his domain. With Ino asking, are they just gonna do the same thing again? Shoko clarifying to Ino that Gojo's not that naive to bang his head against the wall. Then Higoromo goes ahead and clarifies to the cast, saying that Gojo reverses various interior and exterior conditions. This allowed Kusakabe to clarify to the audience that Gojo's domain is now stronger against attacks from the outside rather than the inside. So what's going on here is in this moment, Gojo has decided to reverse his various conditions. He can't have the outside again like Sukuna did in chapter 1. As both Gojo and Sukuna have activated their domain, leaving it to engage in hand-to-hand combat. As Gojo's pushed back by Sukuna, he notices something. He notices that Sukuna is able to use domain amplification while expanding his domain, expressing this belief. Yes, if Sukuna using this, his output's even greater than before as well. But it's not impossible either. As domain amplification prevents you only from using the innate curse technique engraved in your body. But if the curse technique is already using your domain, it's a completely different story. As Gojo's able to pick up on Sukuna's strategy, he strikes back, throwing punches at Sukuna, bobbing and weaving, while saying, well, so what? And he lands a liver shot right on Sukuna. To be honest, I never expected to see liver shots thrown in Jujutsu Kaisen, especially on Sukuna. I mean, look at him, he is reeling. But after Gojo manages to land his punch on Sukuna, he slides behind him, punching his own man. Gojo notices this. What? Within my domain, Sukuna's short hit technique is turned off. And now, you guys are not ready for this. We are about to see that Gojo is not the only prodigy fighting in this battle. At this moment, Kenjaku explains to us, the only people who aren't affected by the limited void are Gojo Satoru himself and those touching him. And Sukuna clarifies as well, saying that he's already experienced the unlimited void before in chapter 15. In order to destroy Gojo Satoru's domain from the outside, Sukuna made the effective range of his own domain smaller than it was in Shibuya in order to increase his potency. To increase his potency even further, he used a binding powder, a shortening command for the core gem relentless shrine within Gojo Satoru's domain. Meanwhile, he was able to bypass unlimited void by touching Gojo in the first place. And now once again, Gojo Satoru's domain has collapsed. Sukuna looks back at Gojo and says, let's try this again, sends him flying with a furious lashes. Once Yuji witnesses, he yells why, and Kusakabe is easily able to figure out what happened, saying that Sukuna probably changed the conditions on his domain as well. Kashimo cuts in and says, hey, if that guy dies, it's my turn next. Don't stand in my way. Coming back into the fight, Sukuna expresses dismay as the wounds on Gojo are shattered. As Gojo expresses to Sukuna that he learned this technique when he was a child, but he's never used it after getting his domain expansion. Not bad, right? considerably reduce the refinement of the code. And Hiruma says even if you protected the astronaut on the outside, it doesn't matter on the inside. Well, I would never want these people on my team here. Kiara yells, another failure? Almost say, wait, the barrier is becoming so small? A small barrier? Well, in theory, it could serve to strengthen the barrier. But it's not even the size of the basketball. Osakawa says, that's impossible. Maybe he says, well, I think he said impossible sometimes, right? Maki interjects and says, why? The barrier's outward appearance and how big it is on the inside will never match as it is. Kusakabe then responds, saying, that's why we don't treat the domain. Unless you somehow found the edge, you can't even escape. Even if you reach the edge, the normal domain is resistant to attack from the inside. But there are still limits to muscle head. Maki's just like, well, don't blame me. Blame my dumbass teacher. And she's right. Because we know Gojo can't really teach all that well. He goes on to explain, usually if you try to envision a barrier too small to hold even yourself or your opponent, you'll just collapse. But Choso then says, the prison rules. And this helps Kusakabe Asakami realize that what Gojo's actually doing here is changing the rules of his domain every single time he touches it. And then this causes me to ask what exactly this means. Kusakabe breaks it down, saying barriers, particularly domain barriers, typically have set intervals and external parameters like volume and creation speed. By discovering their own relative parameters, every sorcerer is able to establish their own domain barrier. And this causes Ikuma Hakari to question what he's saying, because obviously their domains don't work or do Kusakabe further says that Ikuma Hakari, you are accepted because your domains don't quite evolve as part of the current entities. But in any case, they are usually things that can change on the fly each use. So Hakari and Ikuma actually bypass these. This is why when Hakari involves Kashimo, you just able to teleport through the water. Kusakabe then says, what is it that propose to maintain such a barrier that can press it down to that tight basketball size? And maybe he just wanted to see if he could cover Malevolent Shrine. And as the barrier begins to shake, she says it's holding out. And he cracks one of them, everybody begins to state what they think will happen. And then in she goes, we see Sukuna come out with the Malevolent Shrine, and Gojo with the belt. This causes Yuji and everybody else to panic. But in truth, Sukuna has taken much damage. Upon seeing this, Hakari and everybody else begin to scream from excitement. Hakari points out that Sukuna was able to destroy Gojo's domain from the outside, whereas Gojo was able to damage Sukuna to the point where he could no longer maintain his domain. He says Kusakabe is screaming for the time, trying to find out how long Gojo's barrier lasted. Maybe that says it lasted exactly 3 minutes and 9 seconds. This causes Ikuma to point out that since their domains have collapsed, neither of them can use curse techniques. Maki then says Gojo can now make the first move since he's able to restore his burnt out technique and reverse curse technique. But Sukuna can do it. Yuta says if you put it like that, well, as I said earlier, they can't heal a burnt out technique. Angel then comes in and says Gojo made the mistake of showing this to Sukuna. And when it's asked why this is a problem, she says that with Kenjaku's help, Sukuna was able to split his soul into 20 cursed objects, the fingers, and after seeing it just once, he learned how to do this to himself. So now that Sukuna saw Gojo restoring his own burnt out curse technique, he's probably able to do it as well. Sukuna leaps off the building and runs with Gojo, as Gojo begins to chase him. He lands right behind Sukuna, destroying everything below him. Sukuna lands on a rail, but Gojo flies right in front of him and throws a kick at him, pushing Sukuna back. This causes Gojo to ask, why is Sukuna not using any other curse techniques other than the ones granted to his domain? Even when the entire strength of the barrier lowered after it left the internal and external conditions, he didn't try to destroy it from the inside, he chose riskier options. While we were canceling out each other's short infection within the domain,
Hey, are you okay?
Yes. Barely. What's going on?
No way! That monster just doesn't give up!
What? I thought we killed that thing!
No, it's been waiting for you!
Despite all this, Sukuna still didn't attempt
He's playing with us. Carlos, Do you think that it's unstoppable?
No, I don't think so. I'm sorry, Jill, but I've got to go take care of a few things. Oh, and bad news. Nikolai is still alive.
Nikolai? Are you sure?
Yes. I don't know how, but I do know that he is our enemy. Remember, don't trust him.
This is like the fourth or fifth time. And what's so interesting about this is these two spanning their domain is so unpredictable if they do it every chapter. Nobody's gonna assume that these are gonna do domains next chapter, but I bet you they will. Well, anyways, Mr. Useless says, at the same time, with Angel that is saying, that means Lacuna can also regenerate his burnt out curse technique by using the first curse technique, like she was saying in the last chapter. I was wondering if he was able to do it or if he learned. How many times have we said curse technique? And for I've probably said curse technique over 100 times in the last 7 chapters. Anyways, King himself then says, during the 3 minutes Sukuna destroyed Gojo's domain from the outside, Gojo will have to deal damage so that Sukuna can no longer maintain his domain. And we are blessed with hand-to-hand combat skills more than usual, which is more pages than you thinking about story. But I guess Gigan decided to have a little bit of fun. As Gojo throws the rod and punches at Sukuna's pushed back and Gojo speeds right behind him. Sukuna thinks that Gojo's gonna continue to do a blow, thus readies himself for a counter. Gojo instead receives mitigated sword, celebrating his success with his rod, sends him flying into the rod. Gojo then grabs Sukuna once again with his tactile telekinesis that he apparently has now, pulls him towards it, and throws a punch at him. Sukuna kicks it while Gojo smirks and laughs. After this, both of their domains collapse, with Sukuna being the one who takes damage. Usakabe then says, it was the same timing again, maybe saying, sheesh, don't make us nervous. But then Miwa clarifies that this means that Gojo's stronger than the domain, right? Both reaffirm that saying so, he can win. Gojo then sends Sukuna flying with another punch, and it readies their domain once more. With both Yuta and Higuruma noticing something, and Hakari confirms it. Yuta says, maybe, just maybe, Gojo's domain expansion was a bit early, because you healed somebody who had to heal your domain within 0.1 seconds. You took it to the unlimited void. This shows that Sukuna has closed the domain battle. Inside Gojo's domain, 2 minutes and 2 seconds after the last expansion, the malevolent shrine collapsed. And thus, Gojo has finally won a domain battle. If Sukuna is now done, due to the effects of the unlimited void. Gojo's being this opportunity that says not yet. I meant he's going to crush the heart, the lungs, and the liver. He's going to bring you closer to death, if you can, juvenile training. And as he saves place, it is shown that Maharaj has become. It is now something. And he handles so much that I've heard that he's in the body that Maharaj. Gojo reacts to this summon by saying right now, from before the dash to unlimited void, I will destroy you in one shot. Gojo then attempts the red yellow curse technique reversal red, but it is shown that Maharaj will destroy Gojo's domain almost instantly, because he's already adapted. And right there, the chapter ends. As they all witness the incarnation of destruction joining this fight, may make sense. The true part of the next. Jojo then says the Shikigami has been adapted to any kind of test. How does he know says, her face says, you have something you want to say, huh? Goto's like, nah, I'm happy because you're fighting more desperately than I was. Sukuna then says, not as desperate as you have been. The infinity point is a curse technique that is only enabled inside the domain. But to be honest, I thought it was no more than a bird. I wanted to bridge your hand in that car. While I wasn't using domain amplification, I had Magni adapt using the 10 shadows. Thanks to that, I wasn't able to use the first technique other than that which was applied to the domain. But it seems like I had enough curves. And if you were wondering why I had to use the 10 shadows in the entire fight, I think that explains it. Goto then says, what Magni took over was the process of adapt in a limited void, not the return. It doesn't mean that you had Magni's soul adapt to infinite void. So if I use domain expansion again, you have no other option than to summon Maharon. I will demolish it in one shot if you do so. And Sukuna's like, well, try your best to activate your domain. You see that Goto's shocked, and tons of blood comes out of his nose. Even Kusakami doesn't even know what's going on. That's how you know it's crazy. Sukuna then says, you're recovering your burnt out innate curse technique with the first curse technique, and it seems like you've now returned to yourself. The curse technique is engraved around the prefrontal cortex of the right brain. You destroyed your brain and restored it with your first curse technique in order to reset the burnt out curse technique. Yucha's like, this is way too risky to do once. Kusakami then figures it out, saying the brain, especially the part that relates to the curse technique, is a black box. It's not that simple to fix, even if you think of it. Choso then says, it's fair to say that the amount he needs to cause in the near he died. Yuji's counting on his hands the amount of times he's done this. 5 times? Shogo's like, I thought Goto was accustomed to doing this, but he still had after effects. Sukuna has healed less, so he has fewer after effects. Normally I take the time to break this down and explain it, but the characters are already explaining these things well enough. Sukuna then says, it's different from healing your flesh and bones, healing your limbs, right? And even if you are, you will die. Or the precision is so low that you can't keep up with it. Next, I'll be closing my donation barrier. There will be no escape this time. All I have to do is cut through and adapt to that limit. The sea is strong. A guy out the door, but I didn't exist. An ordinary guy. Donate expansion. As if I activated donate expansion for the last time, instantly. Everybody's in shock. Come back to Sukuna's eyes. Blood everywhere. Blood flowing out of his face. Damn horrible. It then says, Sukuna endured infinite void for less than 10 seconds. But like Goto, his brain was damaged to the point where he couldn't even expand his domain. Goto gets up, Sukuna wipes the blood off his face, beginning to laugh. So it's affecting you, huh? My students are watching, so I still gotta move. With that, Goto gets in and plays a first shatter and touches Sukuna's face. Round 2 begins. Chapter starts off with Kusakami asking if somebody has ever seen S.T.A.R.S punch. Hannah was like, I punched him. Oh my god. But anyways, Yuta goes ahead and says, not a serious person. Punch me in the limit. Is that Hakari says? I don't know if this implies that they are training. Like, everything it means that S.T.A.R.S happened. And I absolutely because why would Goto not treat Hakari as much as their value? Especially after seeing Hakari's domain, I think it would be more than his treating Hakari and fighting Hakari's domain. However, Goto can't do much besides domain. He emphasized that they train together. After Hakari was permanently hit by Kusakami then explains that when Goto fights the hand, it essentially overlaps with the effects. Nothing did. Curse energy and this gives the impact of flow or strength, but it also feels like you're getting hit by a counter or a punch. It's just saying you guys time, so I'm going to explain how this works. If Goto were to try and punch you in the face, he would pull your face in while punching his fist towards your face. And that's why Hakari says, like, count. some people try to go in for a punch any kind of out of the way, unusual thing. But in Gojo's instance specifically, the force from Gojo's punch combined with momentum combined in order to enhance the impact of the attack. The armor had to, and it hurt. Because like I well, speak from how hard it makes the same thing happen to him. So I'm not gonna explain it. To me that says not necessarily thing. Flashbacks are not because once you see things sorcerer, don't compare something else. You get punched like jazz by critical hits that take a lot of effort. Long story short, it's I can't come up with this shit. It's not basically saying that all that effort not to play the demonstration of the game, totally just that. Go back and putting the match that was not sad or not. I'm not like don't chill out here because that's so bad. What the comment says, what I want to say is I don't know. He then cuts back to Gojo to the fight. And as soon as he has it running and momentum stops, he then pulls in one throw by Gojo. Both by Gojo and then drag turns the rope from it to Gojo then tries to land another kick on the corner, but he dodges. Only for Gojo, but now that what a dodge is, front flip tries to counter it. Gojo dodges very so that is really accurate. Gojo goes in for a punch with his foot and he gets to figure out ending to that time of the game, there was nothing to say. Gojo came on by the punch. Then sent Gojo fly. Gojo very incredible attack. He lands it. Leads the disadvantage. And then instead, he took a risk for coming off Roger. He just lays it down. Off Roger actually had to the copy with technology on it. You get a little Gojo Gojo per se, when he touches me with the beam off Roger feels first blood. So that says he had a beam stop, so he can't do beam expansion, or even like so he can't cover part of the brain that was damaged. But the one thing to forget is that he has beam expansion is not actually clear. That's the clearly points out those Gojo that Gojo was playing the adaptation by not any first technique this round. As the chapter like turns to play, he gets to play Gojo was flying into the pit. Jumping off the track was like so bad, meaning like everything is throwing right at Gojo. When Gojo sees him down, he then comes back to the rest of the cast, saying that Bob Rogers died first. Maybe said that Hikari was for the limited test. The Nemesis did several times. The concept is that by for that, Bob points out that he was or Bob Rogers has like this shot that's like that's crazy. One of the first is by beginning the flash and the countdown and then work on the scene. Gojo then himself is looking at Bob as a that both first claims that we know him for the bit. We come back here on his own. Under that, did you forget about that? He did that me. Constable did this chapter. That's mine. And it's okay to forget about it. Start off the chapter. Countdown, please. No, that Gojo are running. Everything like that. He's always talking to that's the next time. Today, there's the second day. Then Gigi now comes in and forces it. Bob Rogers on the desk. Get it. Hurry up. And Gojo's doing alright. Gojo actually is what he is and it's fine. But he died. And smart enough, Gojo is fine by now that he's all around him. This is acceptable and fair. But then, when he jumps into the air, he comes to understand that while the rumble, he can pass down all the road. If you want Gaining understanding that social measures have greater comprehension needs to break down what that has. He first says, your enemy doesn't need egg. Take the attack once, take time to understand that attack, but not what Dharma Chakra looks like. That needs to prevent because now that we've done it here, I'm pretty sure maybe I can do it again all the time. See mom talking, so many must go back and figure that out. The concept says, considering there's no going to be any other techniques except for last, which could it be? Captain responds and saying, the option is possible. That's what it is. I think maybe he's trying to make it a point of not being nonsense, like an intelligent person outside of the house, because he just keeps saying that's all that is. He's not even offering a conversation. We'll come back to Gojo takes down the phone after setting his mind, saying now no is down. A third one is all. But this time he won't be able to first credit. The component Dharma Chakra turns black and activated. Gojo expresses this thing and he realizes that now we're going to look at this thing and say that's expected. Even if implication is no line to look out for it. Nevertheless, it cannot be but we go back to it because people would say it's right. That's his brain. He says on that. Gojo then accepts the government for the brain as escape completely cover the map. that I had to actually get all these technical tasks. My ride is not obviously like no funny goals, but it just protected throughout the entire fight. I took one of those fires, making sure I wasn't hard and distracted. Maharaja lays on the field, waiting for the opportunity to strike. As soon as that makes a hope, one that resembles a piercing club shoots the beam towards Gojo, and this is when Maharaja strikes. As Maharaja makes contact with Gojo, the Nemesis barrier is nullified. Thus, as being that Sukuna just shot is able to make contact with Gojo, it deals damage. Maharaja then follows up with another slash, as Gojo able to easily dodge. That said, Sukuna is not fully supporting Maharaja's fight, but when Maharaja makes my barrier, the move will go for attempts. It seems like it's 2-1 now. How are you able to use the Shinigami without even summoning them onto the battle? Piercing buttons with a max element, and that scud is iron. Shrine is hit down, without using time repeatedly, unless he adds the effect of the The reason he got used other Shinigami is because he got fully rushed after Maharaja adapted quite a bit. Regarding that, adapting to Red takes more time compared to the current technique. This is better than Maharaja taking away all of the cards that I can play. Gojo finishes up his goal. Then, now that someone's dead, it's not really fun. This means winning brutality creates the kind of character positive. 10 points down that is very good. I have to make him stand it. And Gojo then responds to this by saying, "You look like a lost child." Sukuna smirks at the joke, and they begin to fight once more. Maharaja takes a real wild look into his hands in the back. Maharaja takes the first attack against Gojo, which Gojo blocks with the back. As Gojo makes the save, Sukuna utilizes Gojo's shadow and shoots another beam of lightning behind him. Gojo then dodges this. Goes on to dodge many more attacks, and this bonus. He then gets behind Maharaja and shoots a red, to which the red is able to push Maharaja back and not do that much damage. Gojo then says the effect is so weak, so it's not just the output that's getting low. It only suppresses, so it seems like the adaptation isn't very productive, but red. It seems like I only have that to dodge Maharaja with a shot. And that's a big charge, because we'll be aware of it. Attacking without confusion instead of prioritizing the adaptation for red is good, but I have no other choice. I'm going to have to use the unlimited hollow technique. We start off with Yuta gripping his sword, stating that he's entering the battle. Kashimo then tells him to get back here and to not interfere, saying at least you're not next. And you really gotta look at this panel between Yuta and Kashimo just staring at each other. It goes so hard, man. Especially seeing Yuta this pissed. We never see Yuta that angry. And I don't know why, but the way that Kashimo and Yuta's personalities are clashing here, it really reminds me of like a Goku Vegeta dynamic, or some sort of rivalry like that. Anyways, after Kashimo says what he has to say to Yuta, Hakari agrees with him. Telling Yuta to calm down. Kashimo is right about this. Gojo has only allowed us to enter the battle if he's gotten weaker than us. Yuta is then reports saying it's case by case, and Sukuna's domain is disabled right now. If Rick and I enter, I can definitely help by handling the two Shinigami. In the self-proclaimed Hakari becomes at the point. Things like this are certainly case by case. Jujutsu battles are way too intricate and just anything can happen now. I get what he's saying. But when it comes down to it, we all know they've grown up. So they gotta listen. Maki then says if anybody's going, it's me. And yeah, we do need to send the water up, but I get what she's saying. She tells you to not forget her rule. And if we're thinking that if you're defeated, then some of the insurance will be gone. Yuta argued back against Maki, saying that if we win against Sukuna, we don't even need that insurance. We should take a gamble. Yuji then comes in and says, Yuta, go for it. You need it. Somebody tell Yuji that the big boys are talking right now. But all jokes aside, I do think that Yuta's correct here. They should take a gamble. That's what all sorcery is about. That's what all Jujutsu battles are about. Gamble, gamble, gamble. And Yuta's right here. If I were in that room, I'd be agreeing with Yuta. And a lot of people may see Yuta as unreasonable here, but you have to understand that this is what Yuta's entire character is all about, protecting the people that are close to him. So to see Yuta get up, frustrated, and willing to fight back against everybody in this group arguing against him, I think that's some strong characterization from JJ. I really like that. That whole protecting his rights thing about Utah is exactly why he's a special grade, why he was able to regain his powers after even losing Rika. Because, again, protecting these people that gave him a reason to live, that's all he lived through. So obviously he's gonna be so pissed. If anything, he'll be the first one to run out. Jaeger Katami then said, you guys don't understand anything. Yuta and Yuji are just like, damn, you know. Meimei then says, Gojo and Sukuna have different winning conditions. Gojo just has to beat against Sukuna, because together, they'll be able to handle Kenjaku. But as for Sukuna, even if he wins against Gojo, he will have to fight everybody else Jujutsu High without a break. Akari then comes in and says, he must have a trump card that he's safe, and if he calls him out, he will use it. It's just like, so if you're saying it's not just to provoke them, in the comment that says yes, they will let Racoon away. Sukuna's not being able to give it to Gojo that is best line. These circumstances have the highest probability of winning right now. Kashimo is kind of like, is this all we have for modern sorcerers? And Big Bro then presses his thing. You know, he had to remind him boss who actually won that battle. Because we know how that goes. Kashimo's like, that's not the point, bro. This is a fight for Gojo. Whatever happens, it's leading to the hero. Now, am I going to say Kashimo's correct in terms of what's going on in the story? Absolutely not. They should jump Sukuna. But in terms of narrative value, he is absolutely correct. Gege Akutami was not able to run a fight like this that had the characters coming and seeing one another. That would take away from everything that has been built up. This is a fight for the strong. Actually strong, okay? This ain't a fight to save the world right now. That's what Kenjaku is. So, nobody's gonna interrupt. I've been saying this, that's so unrealistic. Just, no. We come back to the fight. Gojo's on his back foot, running away from both Mahoraga and Agito. Mahoraga slides to the back of Gojo and attempts to attack him from behind. What Gojo does is, he dashes forward and hits Agito with a black flash, while simultaneously dodging Mahoraga's flash. This is the testament to Gojo's ability to fight in hand-to-hand combat and his agility. But even after such a powerful attack, Agito brushes it off and parries. Gojo then grabs his tail and rips it off. And even that does nothing, as it just regenerates that attack as well. Gojo then says, the new way that I inherited the Great Serpent, the Morn Tiger, and the Round Deer. The point is, the healing effect of Madoka has not been adapted to Limitless, but I will have to destroy it in one shot, just like I'll need to with Mahoraga. Mahoraga then slashes a bunch of rocks towards Gojo, which Gojo stops with the Limitless, and then Mahoraga presses up with another slash. But of course, Gojo's able to dodge this and retaliate with a spinning hook kick. And after Gojo lands from this kick, Agito tries to follow up, but he just punches it in the face and says, you're becoming repetitive. He thinks to himself, it'll be tedious if it heals Sukuna, so I have to destroy Agito first. And then Sukuna thinks this is fine. I won't let him have a moment to use his purple. The purple that he used at the start of the fight was more than 120% of the output. It must have had some kind of binding valve. But even when I faced it, I was 4 kilometers away, so I was able to take it in only my enhanced arms. But I too am not in my best condition. So if I take a purple right now, it will be fake.
All supervisors, mission terminated. Return immediately. Repeat. All supervisors return immediately. Over.
Now Fushiguro Mechanis. So show me what you have.
I'm quite impressed you've managed to stay alive up until now.
And you seem to be doing a pretty good job of looking out for yourself. How about helping out?
I have no intention of helping you.
Because we're nothing but pawns in all this?
In a manner of speaking, you are. Our employers wanted a detailed analysis of the zombie beings which were created through infection by the T-virus.
You're saying that they deliberately sent in a military unit to be butchered by their creations?
Not exactly. Although the conditions encountered on this operation were extreme, it was an unexpected outcome that the team would be wiped out. We were only required to collect live data from the subjects. Another mutant.